What's up guys, Shawnthebro here, and we're back for another episode of the fighting game tutorial series. In today's episode we are going to be going over cleaning up our game. So the previous few episodes in the series have been all about cleaning up our game, and we've covered cleaning up our characters significantly, our animation blueprint, our game mode, our camera, and a whole lot more. And we're going to continue doing that in today's episode. Specifically in today's episode, some of the things I want to tackle are removing unused variables, content, functions that we have in our game. So I'm going to go through some of the assets that we initially used, and then we transition to a different system, and I'm going to remove the old ones. I'm going to remove any logic that is outdated, and we don't need it anymore because we went to another system. So this is more of a general project cleanup episode, which we have done another one of these, but these ones are incredibly important. It isn't just the logic that we care about when we're cleaning up our game, it is also the project itself, the file directories, the excess, the bloat that we have in there that we can clean up. And those are some of the things that we're going to be taking care of today. So with that said, we can go ahead and get started. But before we do, if you want to get caught up in the series, you can check out how we've done everything in the fighter, from our projectiles, our special commands, our round timer, and a whole lot more. I'll link you to the entire playlist of the fighting game tutorial series right here in the top right corner, with new episodes every Sunday, so you can get caught up on that. Alternatively, if you only care about cleaning up your project as you're going through the development process, that's no problem. You don't have to be familiar with the rest of the series to follow along with this, but I do recommend you watch the previous episode on general project cleanup, because we did do some general project cleanup before, and a lot of the same ideologies and improvements apply here, and that's the reason that we're improving this stuff in today's episode. So with that said, we can go ahead and get started. This is a code and blueprint tutorial series, and again, we're going to be cleaning up a lot of different things today, but we're mainly going to stay within the Unreal Editor, cleaning up assets and also a few things in blueprints. First things first, I want to go to our blueprints and functional BPs and cameras. There was an episode where I mentioned our 3D camera early on, and I had created this advanced camera for it. Now, I didn't really go over any specific logic in here. I just had a camera in here with our widget so we could display our HUD in front of the characters. And while this is useful, this is something we could do. I've already locked down the method I want to use for this, and we've already transitioned to a camera that supports 2D and 3D. So although this is a possible method, and if some people took it and went forward with it, they can keep it, I'm going to remove mine because we don't need it. So we still have base camera BP, base camera edge BP, and base special camera BP, but our advanced camera that we made many episodes ago, I'm just going to delete it. We're not using it anyway. Now, if we come back out, the next thing I want to look at removing is our hurtbox actor BP if we don't need it. So when we go to blueprints, character BPs, base character BP, we were originally spawning hurtboxes in the event graph, specifically in begin play. So if we go to our begin play of our character, you can see that we now are calling spawn hurtboxes here. And let's go into that, and you'll see we're checking to see if we're using 2D or 3D hurtboxes based on our setup. And if we're using 2D hurtboxes, we'll go into set simple hurtbox details. But here you'll see that we're enabling our static mesh components for our simple hurtboxes. These are not hurtbox actors. These are static mesh components on the character. So you can't see them in here. You can see them in the list, but you can't see them in the viewport, I should say. And if you go to something like your mutant BP and go to the viewport, you will be able to see those hurtboxes. So these are not actors. They're not the same thing as the hurtbox actor BP. Now, depending on how you handled it in the series, maybe you did not follow along and make yours static mesh components like I did. If that's the case, you can keep using your hurtbox actor BP and not remove it. Right now, it doesn't look like we need it. Let's look at set complex hurtbox details as well. This is our 3D hitbox section, and you'll see it looks very similar. We're also not using hurtbox actor BPs in here. So that means that we don't need to use our hurtbox actor for our characters. And if we don't need to use it for our characters, then what do we need to use it for? So let's go back to functional BPs and click on hurtbox actor BP and try and delete it. It says some of the assets are still being referenced in memory. And says specifically that it has one reference. So if we right click on it and go to reference viewer, and it doesn't look like it's being used for anything. Really what this is saying is this is using the hurtbox, the proximity hitbox, and the 1 meter cube. So this doesn't seem to be used anywhere. And we can try this by just deleting the hurtbox actor BP. And if I delete this and I try and play, do I get any errors? No, I don't. That's because it wasn't being used anywhere. It is technically possible that a blueprint could be erroring out if you are using it, and it won't give you a warning or an error. So it is a little risky, but for this case, I know that I'm not using the hurtbox actor BP, or if I am, I shouldn't be. I want to use our static mesh components. So in my case, I do want to just get rid of it. A, it avoids confusion. B, it makes the size of the project smaller, both for my personal machine and other people who work on this. When someone downloads this and they go to use it, say in the case of I made a package that I want people to play on Steam or download to their computer and play. In these cases, then the size of the project is dependent on what's in the project. Now you can exclude certain files when you're in the project. So technically you could have a Hurtbox actor BP and just exclude it and it doesn't get packaged, but in my opinion, if we're not using it, it's just extra bloat in the project that we don't need. So those are two very simple things that we can remove. It makes our lives easier. That's pretty much it for our blueprints. It depends on your project, what you have and what you can remove. So understand that part of this episode is me just showing you what I'm removing. I still recommend that you do an actual culling of your project to determine what you're still using, what you're not using to keep it clean. I know another thing that I want to remove is in my side scroller CPP, this side scroller overview. This is an old class that exists when you create a side scroller template, and I don't need this. It doesn't even work anymore with my project, so I can just delete it. Doesn't hurt anything, but just another file gone. There is one other thing that I do want to go over, and it probably is relevant to a lot of you, because when I was importing my assets, my models, my animations from Mixamo, I kept pulling in a lot of times the materials or the skeleton when I didn't need to, so I might have some duplicates in here. Now, in the last project cleanup, we did cover all of our material changes, just because we happen to be running into them. But one thing that's good to check is you should go to where your animations are and make sure that you don't have a bunch of extra materials or textures that you don't need. So for example, in my combo animation here, I have a texture, a diffuse, a skeletal mesh, an animation sequence, a physics asset, and then I have my 3 animations. This is in my animations folder, so I probably don't want any of these. Now, are they being used? If I go to delete them, it says yes. That may or may not be true, but let's make sure before we try and remove anything. Just go through and make sure that most of your animation files just have animations in them. You can see most of these are just animations. But like our crouch animation also has mutant diffuse, texture, mutant normal, and then we also have our skeletal mesh, our physics asset, and this anim take 001, when really we only need this animation right here. Idle has the skeletal mesh and anim take 1 T-pose animation. Jump has some as well. Punch has some. This is our basic rifle punch, I believe. I have an empty folder here, so I'm just going to delete that one. If it won't be deleted, I can right click on it and show in Explorer. And I can see that there is a shortened animation in here, but I must have already deleted it from the folder here. But I never deleted the file from the File Explorer, so now I can remove it from here. Then I could actually remove this folder as well. You could remove it from the File Explorer at that point, or you could remove it within the engine, since there's no other files in there. Walking has some as well. And we call this zombie stand up, which is just our get up animation. So there weren't too many, but we should just get this taken care of right now. So first of all, let's see what materials and textures our character actually uses. So when we go into mutant, we have this textures materials folder that I made. And you can see that it has mutant diffuse texture here and mutant normal texture here, which makes me think that I don't need any of the other ones in those animation folders. And I also have a skeleton mesh folder, which is supposed to hold all skeletons and skeletal meshes. And I also put the physics assets in here as well. So now I can go through here and go back to my animations, and I can just start deleting these. I should not need any of these. I do need my 3 animations, and it tells me that some of the assets are still being referenced, and we can force delete them. And we can see if this is true. Do these animations still play? They do. And they look quite good as well. So no problem there, and if we try to play, no issue. Next was our crouch, and we have a crouching skeletal mesh. We have T-pose animation sequence, physics asset, diffuse, normal. Let's delete all of these things. Now we can go to idle. Idle does have a skeletal mesh in here. We want to get rid of that, and we also can get rid of the T-pose animation sequence. You'll see that it's saying this one really is being referenced here. So there is an idle physics asset, which is in game art mutant skeleton mesh, that is referencing one of these things. So let's go back to our skeleton mesh folder here, and you'll see we have idle physics asset. We already have the mutant T-pose physics asset here, and this one is probably the primary one because our mutant T-pose is our actual skeleton and skeletal mesh. But to make things a little bit more confusing, we do have mutant skeleton and mutant T-pose skeleton. So to hopefully clear some of this up, mutant T-pose skeleton and all these T-pose assets are the ones that support root motion. So when we did the root motion update in the series, we have these files for it. So the mutant skeleton here isn't actually needed anymore, but I kept it in here to be able to support those old animations with that old skeleton. The idle physics asset we don't really need in here, except for those old animations, but if I try to delete it, you'll see that the idle skeletal mesh, which is in mutant animations idle, that one we were trying to delete earlier, is referencing this. So it's okay, we can just delete both of these things. We can force delete the idle physics asset, go back to the animations, go back to idle, delete the physics asset for this. We can just force delete it, as well as the redirector, or just leave the redirector alone, we don't care too much. And then we can delete the idle T-pose animation as well. This leaves us with just our idle animation, and this looks good. And if you ever want to test it and just make sure you're not breaking anything, because I know it can be scary to delete things, just go into your game. Can I still play these animations? I can still play my idle animation, so I did not break anything with it. I can still crouch, but I will ensure that I can play all of them, and I did not lose any functionality. So at this point we can go back in, characters, mutant, animations, and next one is jump. For this one, we see that we have an end jump animation. We have a skeletal mesh. We don't want that. We have a T-pose for the full jump. We don't want that. We don't need the physics asset for it. We do want the full jump animation. We don't want the skeletal animation for jump. We do want this jump animation here. We don't want the T-pose animation for the jump. We don't want the physics asset. We don't want the texture or the normal. We can get rid of all these. And you'll see that some of them are being used in things that we care about, which is fine. We can move these over. We can move these over. All we have to know is material damage mutant 2, material glowing mutant 2, and material mutant 2. So let's go to where these are. I think it's in art materials, outfits. So all of these are using the wrong asset. So if we go to material mutant 2, for example, let's click on the texture sample and let's see which mutant diffuse we're using. And you can see we're using game art mutant / animation / jump mutant diffuse, but instead we want to be using the mutant diffuse in game art mutant textures materials. And that is this one right here. You can see it in the path in that little pop out, the very top parameter there. And we can pick that and nothing is going to change because it's the same asset. But now we're referencing the other texture. And we want to do the same thing for the normal as well. So when we click on this texture sample, you see we have mutant normal, but it's in the jump path here. We want to change this one to the mutant normal in the texture materials path, which is right here. Now we can save this, and this material looks the same. However, again, it is referencing the proper textures that we want. And we want to do this for the other two as well. So we also have our damage mutant in here. And we click on the texture sample, you'll see it's using the one from jump, and we want it to use the one from textures materials. Same with this texture sample here. Save, and we're good. Last one is glowing mutant 2. And we're only using one of these, specifically the non-normal, just the regular diffuse texture here. But we can go to this and then we can select our one from textures materials. Now I can go back to mutant animations, jump, and select all the same files we selected for delete before, which was the skeletal mesh, T-pose animation sequences, skeletal mesh, T-pose animation sequence, physics asset, texture normal. Delete, force delete. There we go. Next, launched. Good. I believe punch was one. Yep, so we have our X version of our rifle punch. We have our regular rifle punch. Then we have our texture, our normal, our skeletal mesh, our T-pose animation, and our physics asset. We can remove all of these. And you'll see that one of these is being used. The rifle punch skeletal mesh is being used by the mutant CS actor. Now this one is kind of a special case because these CS actors are character select actors. So this means this is the character that appears on the character select screen. And I put these characters in the character select screen because they don't need to have nearly as much functionality as our actual characters. So I made different characters that we can just spawn and do certain things with, like play an animation on. However, because of this, now we do have a dependency here. So first things first, let's see if we can switch our mutant CS actor over to the proper skeleton, which is the one in mutant skeleton mesh, specifically the T-pose variation. That way we can use any animation that works with that character, that skeletal mesh, or really that skeleton in general. This one's in kind of a weird place. It's in Blueprint's widgets for widget actors because it's an actor meant to be used for our menus and widgets. So if we go to CS characters, we can see our mutant CS actor here. In here, we have a skeletal mesh component that we can click on, and you can see what skeletal mesh we're using. And we were using the Rifle Punch one that was in the Rifle Punch folder, or you can see Mutant Animations Punch. Let's try changing this mesh to our Mutant T-pose mesh that's in the Mutant Skeleton Mesh folder. Then we can still have them play the same animation. So we can come in here, say X Rifle Punch, Mutant X Rifle Punch is the animation that works with the T-pose skeleton. You see the skeleton here. The other one, the X Rifle Punch, works with the old skeleton, the non-root motion one. I'm going to switch it to that type, and that should be enough. If we come in here and try and play our game again, I should be able to select my character and make them play the animation, which worked, but I missed an important step. For this animation, the animation we want them to play and be in the initial stance of, it worked. You saw the character was in the right spot. However, we have this event that triggers the animation and tells that skeletal mesh to play a specific animation. We need to also update this play animation to be our new one, which is Mutant X Rifle Punch. Then we can compile and save, and let's try this again now. And it looks good, and we select our character, and it still looks good. So now we've converted that over to the proper skeleton, and that means we can get rid of those old assets. So Art, Mutant, Animations, Punch, and select Diffuse, Normal, Rifle Punch, Skeletal Mesh, T-pose animation, and Physics asset, delete, force delete. Now if we come out of here and go walking, we see walking has the same issue. We have a texture, skeletal mesh, T-pose animation, physics asset. Force delete, then go into the zombie stand-up, as we call it, which is really just our mutant get-up animation. And we could rename this, but let's just go and delete our texture, our normal, our skeletal mesh, our T-pose animation, and our physics asset. Now that is all of our animations, or all of our other assets for our animations that aren't in the root motion skeleton cleaned up. Now let's go to the converted folder, which has all of my animations for the root motion skeleton, and it's nice and clean. Now in your case, you may have others in here, so make sure you clean them up, and you only have your animations and only one instance of your skeletal meshes, physics asset, textures, normals, whatever the case may be. Additionally, if you don't want to support the non-root motion version at all, you could actually remove every single folder in here except for converted, as these all use the old skeleton, which is just our mutant skeleton in here, mutant underscore skeleton. And that means you could also delete the mutant underscore skeleton. We probably will do this eventually, but we don't have to do it right now. Now we've cleaned up everything for all of our assets, for our root motion skeleton and our non-root motion skeleton. And that is looking much better. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on cleaning up our project, and if you did, please subscribe. It does more for myself and the channel than anything else you can do, and I really appreciate it. If you want to give me further support and get some benefits along the way, you can check out the Patreon, YouTube membership, and Discord subscriptions for some sweet extras and to show support to the channel. If you ran into any trouble while following this tutorial or any of my tutorials, feel free to join the Discord community. There is a link in the description, and I would be happy to help you out. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Shawnthebro, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.